when something is wrong in a locker room, when something's off in a locker room, when a guy does not just sit there and go, I understand I'm not getting my opportunities, but I'm trusting in the process, trusting in the team, trusting in my teammates because they trust in me. That's when moments like this happen, when when something toxic takes over a locker room. I'm not saying something toxic is pervading the entire locker room, but there does seem to be something going on between the quarterback and the coach that they are not on the same page. Aaron Rodgers is way too smart to not be passively aggressive like he is being at the podium, okay? He's absolutely sub-tweeting without tweeting Mike McCarthy in this offense. I think of that there is no doubt. What do you think? You obviously are conversant in the language of Aaron Rodgers.
So this is always interesting for me because when I talk about the Green Bay Packers, I mean, Packer fans, I love them, but they are uber sensitive when you talk anything about McCarthy but it's truth. I have attacked his play calling years ago, and it's been problematic. It's been an issue in-house. Even when I was there, like we would grow frustrated because it was. I mean, he would say things like, we can play double headers. And yeah, you could, but we're running the same plays. There's no
what do you mean
innovation.
So that's the problem. There's no you're running the same plays.
Yeah, there's no creativity. There's no Andy Reid like effect. And I get it. Andy Reid is special. But when you have playmakers, Aaron Rodgers alluded to this. You have a guy like Devontae Adams. Obviously, he can get off the press. But sometimes make it even easier for your guy. Bring him in motion. Create plays that are suited for him that will just ignite your offense a lot. Make it simplified, easier for them to get open so that now you're putting the pressure and the stress on the defense to guess what are you going to do. But when you just line up the same way all the time, and granted, they have the luxury to do this because every guy on that receiving core and on that roster, they can mix and match them. Everybody knows every position. So you're not just going to have a guy running the same thing, but it makes it easier more exciting for even you as a player when you're going into the game plan and you're going into a game and the game plan is like, man, I got some opportunities this week.
That doesn't exist in Green Bay. No?
That's not. I've never seen, because it's one of those places where you want to make sure everybody gets an opportunity and make sure everyone's. When I was there and we had 5 guys, we had myself, Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson, James Jones, Randall Cobb. That's 5 guys that can get it done.
That's true.
We never. Although I got a lot of the attention, I never had outlier seasons where it was just my numbers were just ridiculous. No. Why? Because the premise was we got to make sure everybody gets an opportunity.
But isn't that's not a good thing?
It is a good thing when you have the talent to do it, but
when you don't have the talent
have the talent to do it, get it to your guy. What's wrong with that? Everybody else in the NFL in this league does it. It's okay.
So you're saying the offense is so simple to figure out because they've been running the same plays, right? So going into Belichick's house, is that what does that mean? Coming up on Sunday?
I wouldn't go as far as saying the offense is so simple. It's just not as complex as you would think it could be with a guy like Aaron Rodgers running your offense.
So why hasn't it changed all these years? I mean, Aaron Rodgers obviously has some influence. He had a contract that needed to be re-signed. You got a guy like Mark Murphy in the front office who knows football at the top of the chain here. I mean,
Rich, let me share this with you. When does the Green Bay Packer offense look the best?
When it's 2 minutes to go and it's in the Aaron Rodgers hands.
Who do you think has full control over that offense then?
Number 12.
Number 12. He's calling not when that is the case. He takes it to a completely different level because he's now calling the plays. He's dictating it's like a point guard with the ball in his hand. And look, we have no more timeout, so I can't look over. I can't come over to coach. We can't get the play. I got to run what I know I'm going to run and what I feel like is going to work. That's what he does.
So
and
why can't he get
backyard football?
So then why can't he get control over the other 48 minutes?
That's not happening.
I mean, the other 58 minutes. I mean,
that's not happening.
Why? I mean, Peyton Manning did, for all those years.
Mm-hmm. Mike, that's not what Mike is doing. Mike is not going with dealing with Brett. It goes back to Brett. When you dealt with a guy who you felt like he was, I hate calling somebody an animal, but he was like the wild child.
Okay.
Where you couldn't control what Brett did.
Plus, he was Brett Favre by the time Mike McCarthy had come in.
Exactly. We would be in the huddle, and it would be like the play would be called. We hear it in the helmet of Brett, and he's like, "What?
Can't hear it.
We're not running that." Okay, like that was Brett, and Mike lived it. And it was like the moment that transition made, that baton was handed off, Aaron had no leash. I am not going through this like what I experienced with Brett with you. And he's not going to give that up.
That's what's called an insider report right here. So why doesn't Aaron do that? Is Aaron doing that? Why doesn't he pull a Favre on that respect? And in a way, though, this does whole conversation make it seem McCarthy doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, he has to know what he's doing.
No, he look,
right? I mean, like
we have these conversations and we make it seem like McCarthy's not a great coach. He is a great coach. He's a really good coach, and he knows what he's doing. But he wants guys to do it his way, and I get it. Every coach wants that, but he does defer. He does allow Aaron to run the 2-minute offense. It just so happened we look a lot better when he's calling the plays. I mean.
Wow. So how did you think this plays out? What do you think happens here? Because it just seems to me, 3-3-1's not cutting it when it all's said and done. And something's got to give here, right? I mean, is Aaron Rodgers going to finish his Packers career with a coach who he clearly is not on the same page with, or would management let that happen?
I think when
or can they coexist? I
mean, they've coexisted
for this long.
And we've always given, in my opinion, Green Bay passes where Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the talent. He doesn't. They don't have the personnel around him. They don't. Look, man, when you look who they're playing Sunday night, that has never been an excuse or reason for them not to be successful. Personnel. They find a way to make it work.
They sure do.
They overcome what they do not have. And that's one thing that the Green Bay Packers have not been able to do with one of in my opinion, the best quarterback in the game. The most talented. Tom Brady's the most decorated. GOAT. Give him that. Most talented quarterback in the game. You have not been able to overcome what you do not have. And that's where the frustration grows and festers. So will McCarthy be there? I think so, because I think it goes beyond just wins and losses for the Green Bay Packers. It's relationships. It's have we had success? When a coach has won, yeah, it was 9 years ago, but they are a viable team every single year if 12 stays healthy.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.